What is up, family? My name is Trail, and we have some breaking news that is hitting Russia. The President of the United States has officially placed a ban on Russian oil and energy imports.
We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. This is a move that has strong bipartisan support in the Congress and, I believe, in the country. Americans have rallied to support their Ukrainian people and made it clear we will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war. We made this decision in close consultation with our allies and our partners around the world, particularly in Europe, because a united response to Putin's aggression has been my overriding focus, to keep all NATO and all of the EU and our allies totally united. We're moving forward with this ban, understanding that many of our European allies and partners may not be in a position to join us. The United States produces far more oil domestically than all the European countries combined. In fact, we're a net exporter of energy. So we can take this step when others cannot. But we're working closely with Europe and our partners to develop a long-term strategy to reduce their dependence on Russian energy as well.
In addition, multiple large corporations are now standing with Ukraine and pulling their businesses and services out from Russia. They are saying that they will no longer support the country with money that is used to bomb and kill innocent civilians in Ukraine. I have an entire list of those companies that have already removed themselves from Russia, and I'm going to share that with you. Also, good news that Poland has finally decided to offer their older aircraft planes to the Ukrainians to use to fight Russia in the air. The only problem with that is that the U.S. doesn't believe that that's a feasible idea. And last but not least, guys, hey, lawmakers are almost to the finish line of approving $14 billion in financial assistance. This will be a bipartisan effort, and it appears that both sides in Congress are in agreement with approving of this money. And last but not least, guys, hey, we have another state that is offering some stimulus relief money. This new program is going to give qualified homeowners up to $40,000 in assistance for late mortgage payments and overdue bills. So if you're interested in any of these topics today and you want to be a part of this channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it. It's totally free. And if you end up liking today's video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Well, guys, President Biden has officially banned oil imports from Russia, calling it a blow to Putin's war machine. Now, officials said that President Biden had struggled for days over the move amid some deep concerns about accelerating the already rapid rise in the price of gasoline. But he ended up having to make that tough decision, as any president would, to go ahead and remove Russia from importing or exporting their oil to other countries. Yes, President Biden did this on Tuesday, in which he banned imports of Russian oil, gas, and coal in response to what he called President Vladimir Putin's vicious war of choice, which is going on in Ukraine right now. But he also warned Americans that the decision to inflict economic pain on Russia would also mean that higher gas prices are going to come here at home. So again, guys, I asked you guys yesterday on the video, are you guys ready to pay a little bit more at the pumps in order for the United States to stand with the Ukrainians? And most of you guys said yes, you are willing to. But I hope that gas prices don't go up over $6, right? But we did hear from Steny Hoyer, which is the House Majority Leader, and he said that, hey, this Russian gas ban is actually worth the political cost. And what he is actually talking about is that it's actually worth the Americans paying a little bit more at the pumps in order to provide some additional support and hopefully stop President Vladimir Putin from inflicting this rage on the Ukrainians right now. He said that yes, despite the risk heading into November's midterm elections, House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer said on Tuesday that the more important consideration is right now helping Ukraine defend itself from an unprovoked Russian assault that's already killed hundreds of civilians, as well as it aims to topple the government of Kyiv. Yes, our majority is on the line here, Hoyer told reporters in a press call, but what's on the line really is freedom. Freedom. sovereignty, and the world that operates consistent with international law. So yes, guys, I'm sure you guys, if you are American watching this channel, I'm sure that you agree with this is actually the cost of freedom, which we see right here, what's going on, which started last month in Ukraine, which means that those individuals don't necessarily have the freedom that you and I have here in the United States, which we have already paid that cost, guys. It was costly, very costly for the American people. And here, other countries have to pay that cost as well, which we are seeing it before our eyes, which we have seen thousands of lives getting murdered and slaughtered in Ukraine. Now, hopefully this thing comes to an end very soon. Hopefully this pressure of continuous sanctions as well as this official ban on oil and energy coming from Russia will actually do the trick. We hope that we do not have to suffer losing more lives in Ukraine. But again, guys, hey, let me know what you think about this ban on Russian oil and how you feel about this increase in gas prices coming within the next couple of days or so. Let me know down below in the comment section. In which we also see right here in a poll that states that 79% of Americans actually back the Russian oil ban, according to this poll. This survey was conducted by the Wall Street Journal, and they found that only 13% of registered voters polled oppose a ban on Russian oil imports. And the poll asked around 529 registered voters, would you favor or oppose the United States imposing new sanctions on Russia by banning the sale of Russian oil to the U.S., even if you knew that it would cause U.S. energy prices to increase? And support for the prohibition on Russian oil imports received bipartisan support. 88% of Democrats and 77% of Republicans surveyed said that they actually support this particular move. And supporters of former President Trump were also largely in favor of the sanctions. 72% of polled voters who said that they would support Trump in 2024 said that they also favor a ban on Russian oil imports. So again, guys, it looks like the majority of Americans as well as other countries are actually supporting this ban on these Russian oil imports, as well as supporting the Ukrainians in this fight against the invasion on Ukraine. So again, guys, this seems like it is a very positive move that everyone around the globe are supporting right now. I hope you guys are supporting it as well. In other news, guys, hey, here is exactly where the U.S. oil and gas supplies actually comes from. I ended up finding this chart on thehill.com, and it talks about and shows a chart of exactly where these oil imports are actually coming from by country. Now we can see right here, it says that the U.S. crude oil imports by country in millions of barrels. And we can see right here in the dark shaded area, it looks like 1,400 barrels of oil actually comes from Canada. I thought that that was actually U.S., but it looks like this is Canada. And then we can see that the second area, which is Mexico, and then Saudi Arabia, and then Russia is like the fourth on the list, which is importing about 72 barrels of oil per year, I believe. And as it says right here, with 72 million barrels of oil sent to the United States last year, Russia was the fourth biggest exporter to the U.S., following Canada with about 1.4 billion barrels, and then Mexico 212 million barrels. But the U.S. energy supply is highly diversified, and many other nations following Russia, which is Colombia, Ecuador, Iraq, as well as Brazil, all import oil as well. Imports by the U.S. of Russian oil have grown over the last several years, but have ended up declining since this past summer. And energy imports from Russia rose steadily from 14 million barrels a year to 72 million barrels between 2016 and 2021. However, Russian crude oil imports were in decline throughout the second half of 2021. So again, guys, hey, to put this in another way, in December of 2021, total imports reached about 55% of the level of U.S. domestic production, and Americans imported around 0.7% as much crude oil from Russia as they actually produced themselves. So again, guys, this is the latest move in regards to putting the pressure on the president of Russia, which is President Putin, in hopes that he would end this war against the Ukrainians. And if not, hey, the U.S. is prepared to provide even more sanctions against them until they completely shrink in their economy, totally, in which they have no effort whatsoever to go ahead and end this war. I'll keep you guys posted as usual. In other news, guys, hey, what are the global companies that have actually been abandoning Russia? Well, I ended up finding a list of those companies right here, and I want to share it with you guys. Since the invasion began, we have seen multiple companies around the world ending up pulling out their businesses and their services in the country of Russia. And so far, we have companies like Deloitte, Ernst & Young, Price Waterhouse, KPMG, Estee Lauder, Boeing, Airbus, Shell Gas Company, BP Gas Company, ExxonMobil Gas Company, GM, which is General Motors. Ford has also suspended theirs, BMW, Daimler Truck Holdings, Volvo Cars, Renault, VW Cars, Harley Davidson, Adidas, Nike, FedEx, UPS, Uxnet Porter Group, which I don't know who they are, but Apple has also said that they would also pause their sales in the country of Russia. Dell stopped selling products, Ericsson, Walt Disney, IKEA, Airbnb, Google, Microsoft, Hermes, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. And then the latest, which happened yesterday on Tuesday, McDonald's and Starbucks, as well as Amazon Web Services and Coca-Cola are all suspending their operations in the country of Russia. Hopefully, guys, this is going to cripple their economy. Now, what's really bad is it's really not going to affect President Putin. However, it is really going to have a major effect on the individual residents in the country of Russia. And I hope all of them collectively get together and put the force on President Putin to make a change in the way he conducts business in his country. And hopefully he will stop this rage and invasion on these innocent civilians in the country of Ukraine. Now, in other news, guys, hey, we did receive a surprise move from those in Poland. Yes, the U.S. was stunned by Poland's move, in which they are now saying that they are willing and ready to go ahead and offer their used fighter jets to the United States in order for them to be able to supply them to the Ukrainians, for them to be able to use them in the effort to fight against Russia in the air. We have seen where President Zelensky, which is the president of Ukraine, plead with the United States to go ahead and issue a no-fly zone, as well as go ahead and send over some more military equipment, as well as some aircraft to help them continue the fight against Russia, which we have noted that the United States said that they will not issue a no-fly zone, as well as that is in agreement with the other NATO allies. And in addition to that, hey, the United States have been sending over other military equipment as far as ground equipment, but the United States has been reluctant on supplying additional aircraft to the Ukrainians. But Poland is now stepping up their efforts and saying that, hey, they'll go ahead and lend them or offer them their aircraft in effort if the United States go ahead and backfills Poland with some of their American F-16 fighter jets. Now, the Polish government stunned Washington on Tuesday by announcing that it was ready to transfer its 28 MiG-29 fighter planes to the United States, with the understanding that they would be handing it over to the Ukrainian pilots, which should be used to fight off the Russian invasion. Now, this move, which came with the request that the U.S. supply Poland with some used jets with corresponding capabilities, came after a week of back and forth negotiations between Washington and Warsaw over transferring the jets to Ukraine, and which needs replacement jets to fight off Russians in the future. Now, after some denials by Warsaw, that is, even with considering donating the MiG planes to Ukraine, the offer arrived completely unexpected. And then later in the day, a response came from the United States Pentagon, in which they stated that, hey, this Poland proposal in order to transfer these jets to the U.S. in order for them to give them directly to the Ukrainians might not be tenable. Now, what that means is that, hey, this might not be legal in order for the U.S. to be able to receive these jets in order for them to just go ahead and pass them along to the Ukrainian pilots. The Pentagon on Tuesday evening dismissed this proposal, saying that, hey, the statement that the Pentagon did not believe Poland's proposal was tenable, just hours after Polish officials released a statement saying that the government was ready to deploy these particular used aircrafts. Now, the U.S. responded and said that, hey, this is simply not clear to the United States and whether this is actually legal or not to supply these planes to the Ukrainians. But they did say that, hey, we will continue to consult with Poland and our other NATO allies about the issue and the difficult logistical challenges that it presents. But we do not believe that Poland's proposal is a tenable one. So right now, that offer that's on the table from Poland is still in limbo, but we should hear some more information within the next 24 to 48 hours on whether or not the United States will be able to accept this offer from Poland. But the problem is that, hey, this war is not going to just stop and pause until the United States as well as NATO allies figure out whether or not they can actually accept this offer. The Ukrainians need these aircrafts right now, not within 48 hours. The United States needs to press forward with trying to figure out within the next 4 to 5 hours. They need these planes right now, guys. Do you guys agree? The Ukrainians are fighting a tough battle ahead. And now that the United States has put this ban on Russian oil and energy imports, hey, we are expecting the Russians to actually ramp up their efforts with which will include bombings continuously over the next 48 hours. So the United States needs to act very fast on this particular effort and this offer from Poland. Now, in other stimulus aid news, guys, hey, we do have lawmakers are close to an agreement that is going to provide nearly around $14 billion in some military as well as some humanitarian aid for Ukraine. Right now, our lawmakers are close to finalizing a deal for almost $14 billion in some emergency military and humanitarian aid for Ukraine as the country continues to battle against Russia in their invasion, more than double the initial request from the White House as they scramble to finish a sprawling spending package before government funding lapses this Friday, which means that the government is facing another government shutdown, guys. I told you guys the previous was only going to last another 30 days, which the government continues to push the can down the road every 30 days. I hope that they can finalize a bill that is going to give them enough money to supply the government with spending that is going to last through hopefully the end of this year, close to the end of October. But so far, guys, hey, the White House is continuing to push forward and fighting in order to get that government aid. It's going to prevent another government shutdown. But anyways, guys, hey, the White House initially asked for around $6.4 billion for efforts for Ukraine, but quickly increased that amount up to $10 billion. And now they're increasing it even more to around $14 billion. And on Tuesday, lawmakers were around the $13.6 billion package, according to lawmakers. And just days after an emotional virtual meeting with President Zelensky of Ukraine, who pleaded for more assistance and additional weapons. Details of the spending had yet to be unveiled as of Tuesday evening, but this increase in emergency money demonstrates an increased urgency in Washington to help Ukraine and underscores how the war has rallied support from increased military spending in Congress. Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, the minority leader, complained that it's been like pulling teeth to reach a bipartisan agreement on the amount of money that is going to be used to be able to provide to Ukraine in efforts for their military efforts as well as for their humanitarian effort. We are now seeing around 2 million people leaving and fleeing the country of Ukraine. So guys, hey, this thing continues to go on every single day. Hopefully, Putin will make the right decision within the next 48 hours, guys. But last but not least, guys, hey, we do have to talk about this huge amount of stimulus relief money in the state of Wisconsin. Right here, guys, it says Wisconsin stimulus money offers help to some homeowners. And yes, the governor of Wisconsin is continuing his statewide tour to spread the state's coronavirus stimulus money. Governor Evers talked about yesterday in efforts about the $92 million available that is part of the Wisconsin Help for Homeowners program. That program gives qualifying homeowners up to $40,000 in assistance to pay for their late mortgage payments or some overdue bills. And you can look on this website. This program is called Wisconsin Help for Homeowners. And Wisconsin Help for Homeowners, or better known as WHH, is a new statewide program that can help with overdue bills like mortgage payments, property taxes, utilities, and much more. The program is open to individuals and families who live in Wisconsin with overdue housing related bills, both with and without a mortgage, who meet income and other eligibility requirements, as well as have experienced a qualified economic hardship since January of 2020. Now, in order to qualify for this stimulus relief aid of $40,000, hey, number one, you must be a Wisconsin homeowner living in a single family home, a duplex, a condo, or a factory built home. Number two, you must have been financially impacted since January of 2020. And then number three, your household income is at or below 100% of the county median, which you can check right here to find out what that median is in your specific county in Wisconsin. Now, if you believe that you qualify for this homeowner assistance program, hey, you can apply as well as get more information by clicking on this application portal on this website. Now, guys, don't worry. I'm going to include a link directly to this page right here so that you can get more information, as well as if you qualify, you can go ahead and apply for these particular benefits. And again, guys, those residents that are living in Wisconsin state, you could be eligible to receive up to $40,000 in home aid assistance. Again, guys, I hope all of this information was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching. Also, don't forget to go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Mr. Budget Bill, and go ahead and subscribe to my new YouTube channel that I will be launching that first video hopefully next weekend. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.